Brickle and Digby, the two traveling dogs, want to remind you, keep setting your clocks back for daylight savings time. That way you can watch this over and over as we do an episode of Stop Hounding Me. Ow! I didn't even have to ask you that. That's great. Well, here to see if they'll be right on time with the answers to our canine questions, we have with us
Amy Heinz.
And you are with
AHeinz57 Pet Rescue and Transport.
Awesome. Now I have to ask you, Amy, will you be setting your clock to be woke up to victory, or will you be hitting the snooze button to defeat?
I will be waking up to victory.
I think you probably will be as well. These questions are actually very, very easy. But to see if everyone else out there is awake, let's howl together one time on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Ow! I knew you'd do a great job because you've already done it. So.
Oh, sorry.
No, that's okay. That's okay. Spoiler. Now, awesome. So let's ask the first question. We're here in the beautiful state of Iowa.
Mm-hmm.
Iowa actually is home to the world's largest truck stop.
Absolutely.
You knew that?
The I-80.
Okay, I have no idea what it's called, but anyway.
It's just the I-80 truck stop.
Good enough, but that's not the question. The question is this: truckers not only go by their real names, but they also go by their CB radio names. That's not a CB radio, is it? That was a phone I just
That's
did.
a phone.
No,
Yeah.
sorry about that.
Here's CB.
CB. But they also have their CB handle names. What would be your dog-inspired CB handle name?
I think I would have to go with Motley Mutt.
Motley Mutt. I think that's an awesome name. Now let's hear a little bit of CB lingo from the Motley Mutt. Go ahead.
Okay, Breaker 19, this here's a Motley Mutt. You got a copy on me, Dirty Dog?
I didn't know my name was Dirty Dog, but we're going to go with that. 10-4. We'll just flip around on the flip-flop, and we'll catch you on the other side of end around. Zaba, 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 zaba. That's nothing, is it? I think you did a much better job. Awesome job. Now, second question that we have for you. There's a town here in Iowa that is actually home to something called Trek Fest. This is a Star Trek festival. And we'd like to ask you the question, what Star Trek, is it Trek? Star Trek? Track? I know what Star Trek is, but evidently I can't pronounce the word. What Star Trek character would your dog most identify with, and why?
Well, I think Scrapper would have to be Captain Kirk.
Why is that?
Because he's in charge.
He's in charge. You know what? I can see that. For Brickle, I think he would be Spock, of course. You know, and I think I can do that too. Is it that?
Yeah.
We're throwing up gang signs. Actually, Wolfgang signs.
Yeah,
actually, Wolfgang signs. So I think Brickle would definitely be Spock, and I think Digby would probably be the Dr. McCoy, because his nickname was Bones, and Digby loves bones.
Oh, there you go.
So there we go. Last question that we have for you. Here in the beautiful state of Iowa, it's known for the invention of sliced bread. The saying goes, of course, the best thing since sliced bread. What we would like to know is, what invention do you think, for instance, Scrapper would think is the best since sliced bread?
I think Scrapper knows the best invention since sliced bread, and it's the poppers.
The poppers. I have no idea what poppers are.
The little dog treat poppers. It has the lid that you stick the treat on top, and they pop different directions.
That does sound like a great invention.
We have a great time.
You know, I think any invention that gives dogs food is a great invention to them. I don't know. I think Brickle would probably go with something scientific, like I'm thinking superconductor. That would be the best invention.
Okay.
And I think Digby would probably go, what's an invention? But that's just,
Probably.
He's a dog. Yeah.
Although Scrapper would like to be beamed up over to Dairy Queen for a pup cup.
Beamed up.
Beam me up, Scotty.
We're going now back to the other question. That's not even the same. But all I can tell you is, with that answer, you've actually won this episode of Stop Hounding Me.
Yay!
If you can howl with me one time. 1, 2, 3.
Ow!
Great job, Amy. And great job to Scrapper for looking at us like we're stupid. Now, here what we have for you, at least the animals under your care. We have a couple of bottles of Bowser beer.
Awesome.
And we have a couple of bottles of organic shampoo, 4-legger. And actually, Scrapper with that hair, that's awesome. He's going to love
Do you want a shampoo?
some 4-legger. Give him some style with that mohawk he's got. And also we have a squeak and snap. This makes a little squeak, plugs into your phone. As soon as the squeak happens, the picture happens. So
Awesome.
taking beautiful pictures like dogs, like Scrapper here. And of course we have some dog treats as well for you guys here at AHeinz57. And now let's talk a little bit about your organization. You're not just a rescue, you also are a transport. Please tell us about that.
Yeah, well, there's like an underground railroad all over the United States. So dogs get transferred from kill shelters to no-kill rescues every single week in the United States. And we get emails from shelters saying, here are the dogs that are being put down, who can you take? So if a dog can get adopted, say in Minnesota, and they're down in Kentucky, they just need a ride and they can live. So we offer that ride. We're part of a larger transport. Every Saturday we go to Bethany, Missouri, and we pick up roughly 34 dogs on each transport and bring them up to Clear Lake, Iowa, where the Minnesota rescues will come down and get them from there. Sometimes they're going up to Canada and various places.
All over
the place. So, and it's just like supply and demand in any business. If you move, hound dogs from the south where they're a dime a dozen up to the north where they're not a dime a dozen,
it will help them get adopted.
They will get adopted.
And that's the main goal.
That's the main goal.
Now you guys also don't just help animals like Scrapper, who's in awesome condition, but you also help injured animals as well. Please tell us about that.
Some shelters that we work with know that we will take an injured dog. And we've had dogs, we get calls from dogs being tied to train tracks that need emergency surgery. We've had dogs brought to us that have been thrown off bridges and have broken open heads. And we take that on, and our followers are awesome and help us get those medical bills paid.
The main goal is to help animals any way that you can, even and especially the ones that are in need like that. Well, we thank you so much for all that you do. Scrapper certainly thanks you. I want to say, how long have you had Scrapper?
Scrapper, we've had almost a year.
This is ridiculous.
He needs a
Look
home.
at this dog.
He needs a home.
This is the most beautiful dog I've seen in quite some time. Please help Scrapper. We always want to remind people that animals that are under their care have been featured this week on the Two Traveling Dogs website and the Two Traveling Dogs Facebook page. And we also want to always say, as Brickle and Digby remind everyone, please make rescues the breed of choice. And finally, let's howl on the count of 3. You've done such a great job. 1, 2, 3. Ow! Perfect, Scrapper.